Texts from 6,000 years ago reveal that spaceships visited us. Just yesterday, I was reading a book that my grandson had to read, and it had to do about the Argonauts. And the story was very short, but it stated that some Greek goddesses of ancient Greece, of Mount Olympus renown, helped build the Argonaut, the ship for the Argonauts, and that the ship was able to speak to them. Jason was one of the Argonauts. Jason was supposed to be in charge of it. Hercules was also with them, and others, kings and princes. So, very strange that ancient Greek texts talk about ships that were able to talk to the people that were on the ship, the craft. Very strange technology. So, what is going on here? Text from 6,000 years ago, spaceships visiting us. The true history of mankind is much more fascinating than what history books tell us. Did you know that there are ancient texts dating back thousands of years that mention mind-controlled vehicles, technologies like levitation and anti-gravity, spacecraft from other planets? It's said that the Argo, the ship of the Argonauts, was able to read the minds of the people on the ship, on the craft, and that the ship said it could not stand reading the thoughts of Hercules and asked that they take Hercules off the craft. Isn't that amazing? This is written in ancient Greek texts. So, in fact, there are so many things that have been left out of the history books on purpose, as if society was not destined to know the true history and origin of man. And while many people consider ancient Sumeria or ancient Egypt to be two of the most interesting ancient civilizations on earth, the truth is that each ancient culture is beautiful in its own way and has contributed to civilizations in different ways. If we look at ancient India and the Vimanas, like this one here, we'll discover that much reference is made to the most fascinating ancient texts of all time. Ancient India has one of the longest histories in the world, and its greatest ancient texts, called the Vedas, are one of the greatest ancient writings on planet Earth. Interestingly, these ancient texts dating back thousands of years speak of flying vehicles that visited our continent more than 6,000 years ago. Composed in Vedic Sanskrit, the texts constitute the oldest layer of Sanskrit literature and the oldest scriptures in Hinduism. Many find these ancient texts fascinating and confusing at the same time. The ancient book of Vaimanika Shastra, or the science of aeronautic, mentions incredible details of mind control vehicles, thanks to the technology now lost assessed by ancient cultures. And as I said to you before, it's written in ancient Greek texts that the ship, the Argo of the Argonauts was able to speak to them and read their minds. Now, many researchers consider the holy book of Vaimanika Shastra to be guide to space and space travel and interstellar travel. To understand what the Vaimanika Shastra tells us, we turn to well-known Sanskrit scholar named Dr. V. Raghavan, who has written over 120 books and 1,200 articles and won the Sahitya Academy Prize for Sanskrit in 1966. And according to Dr. V. Raghavan, there were human beings living on other planets and alien beings visited our ancestors thousands of years ago. Dr. Raghavan quoted as saying, 50 years of research into the ancient work has convinced me that there are living beings on other planets and that they were visiting Earth as early as 4000 BC, that's 6,000 years ago. He further explains there is a wealth of fascinating information about flying machines, even fantastic science fiction weapons, to be found in translations of the Vedas, the scriptures, the Hindu epics, and other ancient Sanskrit texts. Many other scholars and authors agree with Dr. Raghavan. There is an ample amount of written evidence in the Mahabharata and Ramayana where we can find all kinds of technologies. Dr. Krishna Murthy, professor in aeronautics, Indian Institute of Science in Bangalore, says, It's true, says Dr. Krishnamurti, that the ancient Indian Vedas and other texts refer to aeronautics, spaceships, flying machines, and even ancient astronauts, of course. A study of Sanskrit texts has convinced me that ancient India did indeed know the secret of building flying machines, and that these machines were designed after spacecraft from other planets. It seems that no matter where we go and no matter where we are, all ancient cultures mention fascinating details that are misunderstood by mainstream scholars. There are numerous ancient texts that point towards pieces of forgotten history and a hidden history. Ancient Indian history is surely one of those misunderstood pieces of human history, and after looking at all the evidence, we must ask ourselves, is it time to change our history books? I guess it is. And this is Mysterious Society by Zach White. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.